Hello, welcome back to some Distant Worlds 2. Today we're going to play a brand new series as the Gizureans. I'm just going to play it how I normally would. I'm going to treat it as though you guys haven't played this before. So I'm going to try and explain everything that I'm doing. And something to bear in mind though, I'm not going to call this a tutorial, because one thing with this game is there's many ways to play it. So this is just my way of playing it. If anybody's struggling to get into the game, maybe this will help. Maybe it won't. We'll see. Also, it has been a minute for myself, so I know there's been some updates. So we're just going to see how we get on. Like I say, I'll talk through what I'm doing and why. There's some things I'll be doing that I probably don't know why, but I'm just going to do it anyway. So let's just crack on. What we've got here. So this is pretty standard. I like a dense nebula because it helps create choke points, which I think helps with this game's later stages. Let's go. That's enough. Pre-warp. I like everything to start as early as possible. We're gonna play on hard. Yeah, hard's fine. Hostile races, that's going to be normal. Extremely slow research, just so we can spend as much time as possible in each area of the game without having to worry about having to upgrade every 2 minutes because of a new research. We can really explore what to do at what level of the game, so there's a very clear early game, mid game, late game, and everything in between. Because if you go up to normal, there's a very quick transition from early to normal, and then normal to late, I think. So we're going to go extremely slow. Research visibility is going to be all projects visible, and it's going to be a fixed research bar. The one reason I don't like random research paths is because sometimes it can completely lock you out of some text, which is obviously not ideal. And I'm not going to allow tech trading because that's broken. Well, it's not broken. It's like later on you start trading all kinds of text to each other, and it kind of nullifies the whole reason for your research tree. So we'll not bother with that. That's my opinion anyway. Of course, you are all free to do what you like. If you want an easier game, I would say you turn this on. This will make things very easy. Pirates, normal, and average. Stay dead, so obviously I don't want them to come back. Even if they did respawn, I think they'd be just so weak, they'd just get destroyed again, so it'd be a waste of time. Normal space creatures. Colony prevalence. Yes, this is the how many planets will spawn that are colonizable. Independent colonies are like very rare, because if you get too many, you find factions jumping all over the place with where they are. They colonize planets miles away, and it's hard to keep track with them. And you still get that a little bit, but it's a bit more controlled this way. And the influence range, which is how much territory you control around a colonized planet. We'll keep that at 100, I think. Maybe 75. And this is how far you can colonize away from a current colony. This can be... you can work around this a bit with outposts now, which you didn't used to have, which is nice. So if you're looking for a planet that's like over here and you're over here, but you can only colonize to here, you can get an outpost in the middle, and then you can colonize this and then just delete the outpost. Or I say delete, I mean like abandon it. That's nice now. Like I say, we're going to go Gizureans. I have the need for lots of hive ships, hive fighters, and missiles, which is basically what these specialise in, and a quick population growth. which I'm going to be testing some manual funding at the start of the game to try and get the best possible colony growth as early as possible. Standard Empire. I do wonder what these two are going to be. I think one's going to be a pirates expansion. I've still not tried the refugee fleet. It's not really my thing. I'm going to call them the buggers. Because they remind me of the Halo bugs in Halo 2. I think you first see them. There's bugger things. I don't know what they're called. I can't remember. I just remember Sergeant Johnson saying buggers, so that just reminded me of that. Colour. See, I wish these were separate. A colour in the flag, but never mind. Go with this one. Allow by race. Yeah, that's fine. Excellent. No, we'll go normal. Excellent might be a bit too easy. Oh no, we'll go agreeable. Because we're on a very slow start. Yeah, pre-warps. And we'll start on the outer ring. Yes. And we're not going to auto-generate. We've got some here. This is every race except for my race. There we go. I'm going to keep this as normal, I think. Yeah. We're not going to finish, more than likely. I very rarely play a game to the end. I just play it until I've had enough, basically. I've played, what, 600-700 hours or something of this, and I finished one game, I think. Let's keep them on. Let's go. Alright then, here we go. We are paused, and I recommend to stay like that for a little bit. I'm going to just change my view because I like the top-down view, just because I'm used to the older games, which is what we were stuck in this view in the older game because it was 2D. And I'm going to have me at the bottom. So I'm here. This is quite a good dense nebula. Shouldn't get too much crossover here. We'll get the odd ones. Look, we've got a little gate here, a gap here, and a gap here. Bit of a gap here, but I think that might be too far to colonize, so we could be all right there. Yeah, I'm happy with this. So I'm just going to rename this planet to Bugger Prime. There we go, Bugger Prime. Or Prime. Let's not do that. Now I'm going to be recording quite far ahead before I start releasing these. So I won't be taking name suggestions in this series, I'm sorry to say. Let's have a look what we've got here. We've got Danthafer, we've got Silicon, we've got Salia. Very nice. First things first, we want to check what we've got for our policy settings. Now, I recently came on yesterday, I think, and went through all this and set what I wanted up for today. So I'm just going to scroll through these so you know what I'm doing right now. And although I've got my ship and base designs set to automatic, I will be manually controlling some designs. As you can see, I've got a lot of things on manual. And a lot of these settings here would only really count if I was in automated mode. This has changed. I want to go beams and missiles, but if possible, automatic designs don't use beams and we just go missiles. Raw power, strength, and speed. I'm missing something here. Oh, here we go. No, that's alright. Make sure we get them fighters going. So a lot of things are manual. The odd automated thing. The way it usually goes for me is I start off with a lot of things manual, and then I'll slowly start handing things back to the AI once I've got a pretty solid start going off. So we're going to come in here, we're going to straight to early warp. As soon as possible, we're going to crash research that by double clicking on it and spending a bit of cash to get that going. That's going to take 23.4 years. I want to click on this planet. We've got some asteroids here. So I'm going to try and put a spaceport here. Hold right click. Build small spaceport. I would say build research, but it never works. Oh, it's worked. No, it doesn't work for me. Usually it goes, nope. Not having a research station. So happy about that. We've got a bonus location here already. Remember, we're still paused, so we're not going to see anything happening right now. I want to come over to here. And go on to our funding levels. So I don't want to reserve any money. So our reserves are usually what are in here. I want everything to go into Empire funding. Colony growth. We're not going to be able to get the right numbers here till we unpause for a minute. So let's just have a look. Where's a gas giant? I started with the moon, didn't I? Yeah, I started with the moon. So here's our gas giant. Have we just got one? That's not a gas giant, is it? Nope. So this is likely to have our fuel on, hopefully. That's cool. So I'm going to just press play. And it's probably going to give me some starting researchers for our species. Yeah. So first thing I'd recommend for new players is try not to speed everything up to 8 times, 4 times, 2 times is alright, but you know, don't speed past everything, especially when you're trying to learn things. There's no rush in this game, really. There's really no rush. Just enjoy what you got. A bit later on, when you've got more experience and you know what's happening, fair enough. Just speed past things you don't enjoy. But I'd recommend for new players, just take your time. There's going to be a lot of downtime at the start, but keep it on single speed or double speed whilst you get to grips with stuff. Especially if you're manually controlling things like your funding, because this will fluctuate quite a lot at the start. In fact, so much so that later I'll just have this on manual. So these are ticks we've unlocked, just because that's what we start with. New overlord. We can have a look at him. So he's pretty good. Corruption reduction. High-tech research, sensor research, biowarfare research. He's good in. Sometimes you get some negative traits, but I think we've rolled quite good there. Alright, let's press play. And let's hope we're going to get some funding levels up in a minute. So we want to try and get this percentage as high as possible. Right now we're going to increase the taxes. Now we want to cover whatever this number is with whatever we've got available. See how I've started putting money into this by taxing the population. The growth has gone up. Now usually in the old game, Distant World Universe, if you kept your taxes as low as possible, like 0 at the start, you get the highest growth. Here it works a little bit different. Right, so we're covering enough here now for that. Let's go a bit more. As long as we've got, I like to keep the population happy. Right. There's no need to go any higher than that. We'll keep it at that for now. We'll put it on 2 times speed. And as this research base gets built, this this stat should go up, which will increase how fast our research is. So currently it says 11.5 years. And remember, I crash researched that, so that's doubled. Yeah. Well, halved, I mean. Like doubled the speed, it's half the amount of time. So we've gone into the red again here. So I want to give them some more. Why is this going down? Let's give them some more money. Wow. This is very early. Early growth, this. You don't normally have to go as high as this. But I want to keep this in the green. If you start going into the yellow, this percentage will drop. But really, 9.2% growth at the start. That's pretty good. Okay, we've discovered some more resources, and that'll be our ship here doing that, our explorer. Now, you might notice that I've not spent any time building any construction ships or any explorers or anything just yet. There's literally no point in building any of that stuff until we've got our warp drives, our very first warp drive. If I was to build 3 explorers now and send them, say, go and scan these, by the time that they've managed to use their sublights to get to about here, we'll probably have warp drives and they'll just overtake them, and you could have got there and back before they've even made it halfway. So we might as well wait, not build them, so we don't have to retrofit anything. Only this one explorer, and I think there's a construction ship somewhere as well. Yeah, it's here. But we'll probably get him to build here actually. But other than that, we're not going to build anything right now. You're still building. You've got no mission. You come over here and do a mining station. What was the bonus? Research. Okay, so we want a research base here as well. It'll only allow you to build research stations at a place with a research bonus. Later on when you've got lots of stars mapped out and scanned and stuff like that. A quick way to find if there's any points for you to research at is to come right up here onto this to this bottle and click New Research Locations, and it will come up here with potential new sites, and you just click here, and it'll assign a mission to one of your construction vessels, and it will go out there and put one down for you. And that was a scientist, I believe, wasn't it? I wasn't paying attention. Yeah. Okay, we don't know his skills yet. Once we learn of what his skills are, we can decide whether or not he stays here or he goes out, sits on another research station somewhere. Let's bring up the research. Spaceport constructed. So we've got looking at our funding here. Right, let's pause it. You can see here now we're only giving them 140 credits and it's maxed out. So let's see what we can get it up to. Okay, so 168 is our current maximum capacity for research. So we want to keep that green always. The rest is going to go on colony growth. And if we want to increase that number now, we'll have to give them more. We'll have to get more taxes off of them. So we'll go one more. See, that's put us in the clear now. We're fully funding them to our maximum ability. Ooh, it's dropped down to yellow though. I don't like that. See, this has gone down to 5.23 years now. We definitely haven't spent that much time. And that's just because we've finally got some research going. Mining station done. Now hopefully he'll get on with the research station as well. I was retrofitting first. Must be something new for him. New general. Okay, then characters. Again, we don't know anything about him yet. That's fine. You might notice that even though I told you not to do this, I am going to bump it up to 4 because I've done this so many times. Important to note that you should always try and keep your private cash flow positive. If your private cash flow goes into the negative and they end up with no money, your whole economy is going to collapse because they're the ones who are building your ships, who are paying your maintenance for your mining stations. You're just not going to be able to build anything. You need to look after your private economy. That's more important, I'd say, even than your annual income. And as we go on, I'll show you how to do that. Constructing a research station. There we go. So we've got another research station. That was over here. And that's give us a boost in, what was it? Industrial research. And those boosts you can see. Oh, where is... Oh yeah, if you look in the red text there, it says a construction research bonus from all sources, 22% required. Well, that's the percentages that come from these bonuses. Look, 7% industrial research. That one needed construction research. That's how you unlock future techs that require those prerequisites. You just get more researchers, research stations. Also, I forgot to check the funding levels again. Okay, so again, we're underfunding the research. We don't want to do that. We're at 2.49 years here. Wow, okay. So this should change. I have to go back on it. It's not changing. Is it monthly? It might be monthly change. Again, underfunding. Oh my god. It's going up quite a lot. This is good. See, this is caught up now. Unfortunately, we're in the yellow here. Might have to lower this a bit. We're doing alright. We'll be able to get this back into the clear again once we start pulling in more money. We do that through more population. The unused excess is what usually comes up here to see how much we make per month. Hurrah! We have our first hyperdrive. Alright guys, that concludes this session for today. I hope you've enjoyed. If you have, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks. Bye.